In a world where communications are accelerating and relationships are becoming increasingly complex, social intelligence emerges as a skill as essential as cognitive intelligence. It is the art of reading others, understanding their motivations, and building authentic bridges of communication, capable of producing a positive and lasting impact. This book offers a practical roadmap to uncover the rules of human interaction, how to develop the presence that attracts others, how to conduct conversations successfully, and how to turn conflicts into opportunities for connection and understanding. It is a guide that combines psychological insight with practical tools to help you succeed both professionally and personally. It provides keys that are both simple and profound to become more influential and closer to others. Chapter 1: Introduction to Social Intelligence. Social intelligence is not an innate gift reserved for a few. It is a set of skills that can be learned and developed. It begins with the ability to read emotions and social cues, understand the hidden motivations behind others' behaviors, and extends to the ability to positively influence and build relationships based on trust and cooperation. It differs from cognitive intelligence. Cognitive intelligence measures analytical, reasoning, and problem-solving abilities. Social intelligence concerns the ability to navigate successfully within the network of human relationships, resolve tensions, motivate others, and accurately interpret social situations. The four fundamental pillars of social intelligence are self-awareness in social contexts, understanding the effect you have on others; social awareness, understanding the emotions and motivations of others; relationship skills, including the art of dialogue and persuasion, the ability to build strong social networks based on credibility and mutual benefits. Learning begins with simple exercises. Observe your daily conversations. Notice how your body language changes even before you speak. Note situations where you successfully diffused a conflict and those where you failed. Then identify the differences. Active listening is as important as speaking. When you give your full attention to your conversation partner and respond with brief remarks that show understanding, you create a climate of trust and encourage the other person to open up more. This gives you access to constructive influence. Chapter 2: The Art of Observation and Reading Nonverbal Cues. It is said that human communication operates on 3 levels: words, tone, and body language. The most sincere is often the body and voice. Mastering the reading of nonverbal signals allows you to understand what lies behind words. Facial expressions, sadness, anger, joy, disgust, fear, or surprise reveal much about a person's state of mind. The difference between a genuine smile and a forced smile is visible in the contraction of the muscles around the eyes. Body language. A slight forward lean and an open chest indicate interest, while crossed arms can signal distrust. Tone and pace of voice. Fast speech may reveal stress, while a slower, steady pace often reflects confidence or contemplation. Breathing. Short, irregular breaths are frequently linked to anxiety. To turn these observations into practical skill, practice. Note 3 nonverbal signals observed in a daily conversation. Try to reinterpret the message received based on these cues. Another useful technique is mirroring. Subtly adjust your speech rhythm and posture to match your interlocutor, to create a natural sense of synchrony. Keep cultural differences in mind. A respectful gesture in one culture may be perceived as coldness in another. Chapter 3: Active Listening and its impact on strong relationships. Active listening is not just about hearing words. It is a mental and emotional interaction that shows the other person that you are fully present and attentive. Start by eliminating distractions. Put your phone aside, establish natural eye contact, and use simple signs of attention, nodding, small words like "I understand," "tell me more." Active listening reduces resistance, encourages openness, and allows you to help or influence later without coercion. It also includes the art of asking open-ended questions, starting with how, why, what, that invite deeper thinking, as well as paraphrasing what you have heard, which demonstrates engagement and corrects potential misunderstandings. To make it a habit, challenge yourself to listen to at least 2 conversations each day without interrupting, and note what you learned about the other person. Chapter 4. Developing effective empathy. Authentic empathy is neither compassion nor pity. It involves temporarily stepping into another's shoes while maintaining your own boundaries to provide a helpful and constructive response. Start by understanding the full context. What experiences and pressures shape the person's behavior? Then, express your understanding with simple statements reflecting their emotions, and propose concrete, realistic actions rather than vague promises. Effective empathy requires balancing emotional presence with clear boundaries to avoid personal burnout and prevent manipulation. Chapter 5. The art of influencing and persuading without dominating. Influence is not imposing your will. It is the art of guiding attention toward choices beneficial to both parties. It all begins with clarity of intention, knowing your goal and how it also serves the other person's interests. The main levers of influence are credibility and reliability, based on consistency between words and actions, and tangible proof of your abilities. The power of storytelling. The human brain responds more to stories than to abstract data. The small steps strategy. Gaining agreement on a small action facilitates acceptance of larger commitments. Listening to objections, acknowledging them, and presenting reassuring facts or experiences. Ultimately, the most lasting influence respects the other's choice and serves mutual interests. Manipulative influence generates only short-term gains and destroys long-term trust. Effective influence results from a combination of understanding needs, building trust, and crafting simple, actionable messages that guide the other party toward action benefiting all. Chapter 6. The art of creating affinity and building social bridges. Creating affinity is a central skill of social intelligence, as it opens doors to trust, facilitates cooperation, and strengthens personal and professional bonds. Affinity does not arise spontaneously. It is the result of reciprocal attention, sincere intentions, and concrete proof of interest in what others say and do. It starts by seeking genuine common ground, not superficial coincidences, but small elements that can become shared bases, common interests, similar professional experiences, or close life values. Once these commonalities are identified, leverage them with simple questions that invite personal storytelling, such as, "What drew you to this field?" or "How did you overcome that experience?" These questions give the other person space to express themselves and create the impression that you are an active partner in the dialogue. Another essential element is behavioral consistency. Affinity flourishes when people feel that your conduct is predictable and grounded in constant respect. Respecting schedules, courteous responses, or remembering details like a child's name or an important event demonstrate relational integrity and build trust over time. In the digital world, a key skill for creating affinity is slight synchronization. Adopt a speech rate, level of enthusiasm, or vocabulary similar to the other person's, without overdoing imitation. This strengthens the sense of psychological harmony. Practically, regular small gestures matter more than rare grand speeches. A brief visit, a follow-up message after an important meeting, or spontaneously sharing a useful resource conveys "I value you" and reinforces genuine connection. Chapter 7. The Dialogue of Hearts and the Subtleties of Effective Conversation. Effective conversation is not merely a collection of words, but a subtle art requiring mastery of timing, topic choice, and appropriate tone. At the heart of every successful exchange lies an implicit goal: conveying information, building a relationship, or provoking a change in attitude. The key is to clarify your intentions before speaking. What do I want to achieve by the end of this discussion? Then adjust your verbal and non-verbal means to reach that goal. Begin by establishing a simple bridge with an engaging introduction, a compliment, an opening question, or a value-adding comment. Next, engage in active listening using techniques such as mid-conversation summaries. If I understand correctly, you're saying, this shows genuine attention and quickly resolves misunderstandings. Another valuable technique is favoring exploratory questions over fixed statements. This allows the other person to discover ideas themselves. The human brain is more receptive to solutions it helped develop. In delicate discussions, use calming language, prefer and also, instead of but, to maintain a psychologically safe environment. Pay attention to emotional zones. Prolonged silence or sudden topic shifts may indicate discomfort or hidden concerns, requiring real empathy. Personalizing your speech enhances impact. Use examples relevant to the listener's context or similar testimonials to increase credibility and persuasive effectiveness. To correct a mistake or give constructive feedback, the praise sandwich method is ideal. Start with a sincere compliment, then provide a constructive remark, and finally propose a concrete solution. This combines safety with a desire to improve. Remember the importance of timing. A short phrase delivered at the right moment can have more impact than a long speech said at the wrong time. Also, creating a sense of mutual benefit in every conversation increases chances of future cooperation. Ask questions that reveal the other person's interests and show how your idea or position serves both parties. Practically, practice daily through small conversations. Note what worked and why, and replicate effective elements. In this way, conversation ceases to be a chance act and becomes a methodical process for building useful and lasting relationships. Chapter 8. The Art of Conducting Interviews and Meetings and Creating Professional Synergy. Interviews and meetings are decision-making spaces that demand rigorous social performance. Their success depends not only on content, but on how it is presented to encourage participants to share your vision. Proper preparation begins with understanding the meeting's objectives and the attendees. Before any meeting, ask yourself, what are each person's motivations? What are their success criteria? Then clearly formulate your main ideas and summarize them into 3 memorable key messages. Before entering the meeting, manage your first impression: a moderate smile, a confident handshake, and an opening line expressing gratitude for the participants' time. During the meeting, use the image and fact technique. Pair a brief, attention-grabbing story with concrete data to reinforce its impact. The brain remembers stories more easily and accepts numbers more readily when they are embedded in a compelling narrative. Respecting time and the agenda enhances your credibility. Those seeking influence value individuals who respect schedules. To manage complex discussions, adopt small governance rules. Limit speaking time. Note action points. Designate a follow-up owner. Productive meetings should result in concrete actions, not just an exchange of ideas. In professional negotiations, use result-oriented language. This measure will achieve X results in Y months. This shifts the debate from opinion to measurable criteria. After the meeting, send a concise summary, reminding participants of decisions, responsibilities, and deadlines. This rigorous follow-up turns words into action and strengthens partners' trust. Don't neglect informal interactions. A brief chat after the meeting can break the ice and turn competitors into allies. By following these rules, every professional meeting becomes an opportunity to build a reputation as a productive, time-respecting individual, paving the way for new collaborations and assertive leadership. Chapter 9. Reading group dynamics and influencing teams and organizations. Interacting with groups requires dual sensitivity to power structures and organizational cultural symbols. Identifying who truly holds influence beyond official titles and spotting cultural barriers that hinder change helps you design realistic proposals. Observe the dynamics before speaking. Who opens discussions? Who modulates their voice when presenting ideas? Who interrupts? These cues reveal alliances and constraints. Start by creating a small core of support among 2 or 3 influential people before presenting an idea to the group. Early support gives the impression that the idea already has a solid base. Use collective interest language rather than individual rights language. Groups are more receptive to changes perceived as benefiting the majority. Do not underestimate the power of organizational rituals. Citing a company veteran or an internal statistic strengthens the legitimacy of your proposal. When facing resistance, propose a limited trial. A short pilot phase followed by evaluation reduces fear of change and shifts the debate to measurable grounds. Manage the collective tone. A climate of respect and recognition prevents emotional outbursts that block dialogue. Track and share your results. Transparency and shared accountability reinforce trust and transform individual initiatives into collective successes. Ultimately, the art of working with groups is not just a tactical skill, but a leadership stance based on strategic humility and the ability to transform divergent interests into a win-win common project. Chapter 10. Resolving conflicts and rebuilding trust after disagreement. Conflicts are inevitable at work, within family, or among friends. The true value of social intelligence is revealed in the ability to manage tensions wisely and turn them into growth opportunities. The first step is to acknowledge the conflict without minimizing or exaggerating it. Many choose denial, believing time will solve the problem, but ignoring it often makes it worse. Also, begin by calming yourself, as entering a confrontation angrily only escalates the situation. The golden rule in conflict management is to focus on behavior, not personality. Saying, "I'm disappointed you missed the deadline," directs discussion toward a modifiable act, whereas "you are irresponsible" attacks identity and puts the other person on the defensive. Likewise, using "I" instead of "you" reduces emotional load. "I felt frustrated" is much more constructive than "you ruined." Negotiation is both a mental and emotional process aimed at finding balanced solutions that meet sometimes divergent interests. Preparation is key. Identify your true interests, set a minimum acceptable and a maximum goal. Understand the other party's interests through exploratory questions before entering a power struggle. Start with proximity, not confrontation. Your first interventions should highlight common objectives and create cooperative ground. Use progressive offers. Propose an initial approximate solution and allow the other party room to adapt it, rather than imposing a final demand. This reduces resistance. Offer measurable, time-limited options. People respond better to what they can evaluate concretely. Address the emotional aspect. Acknowledge the other's fears and provide practical guarantees, deadlines, trial periods, to reduce perceived risk. Avoid emotional blackmail or implicit threats. This only yields short-term gains at the cost of long-term credibility. Master intelligent withdrawal. Sometimes accepting disagreement and waiting for a better time or context is a mature negotiation decision. Formalize agreements immediately. A written summary clarifies commitments and prevents misunderstandings. Be ready to reassess positions in light of new information. Successful negotiation includes cycles of adjustment and correction. Use negotiation to build lasting relationships. Balanced exchanges transform potential adversaries into long-term partners. Chapter 11. Emotional intelligence in critical situations and leadership under pressure. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and regulate both our own emotions and those of others. It is crucial in critical situations and for leadership under pressure. Effective leaders know that the first mission in a crisis is to stabilize the collective mindset. By calming themselves, they transmit that calm to their team. Practice simple breathing techniques before speaking or making decisions. Express emotions clearly and measuredly, rather than through impulsive reactions. Use reassuring language and clear facts to reduce anxiety and confusion. Here's what we know now, and here are our next steps. Stay flexible in your leadership style. Some situations require firm decisions, others collaborative dialogue. Intelligence lies in adjusting style without losing vision clarity. Communicate frequently during crises to avoid information gaps that fuel rumors. Organize post-crisis debriefs to derive lasting lessons. Prepare your team to manage stress through practical exercises and scenarios. Show empathy and provide concrete support rather than mere words of comfort. Take responsibility by acknowledging mistakes and proposing corrective plans. This strengthens credibility and trust. Chapter 12. The influence of culture and context on effective social strategies. Culture and context form the tacit rules that guide and interpret individuals' behavior. Any effective social strategy must account for cultural differences and local realities. Understand the group's core values. Does it prioritize speed or accuracy, relationships or results? Master context-specific codes of respect. Small details in greetings or politeness can strengthen or undermine communication. In international environments, avoid assumptions. What seems natural to you may appear rude elsewhere. Ask questions and learn. Adapt your professional style to local practices. Some organizations value clear hierarchical structures. Others prefer flexibility and relationships. Use communication methods appropriate to the context. In some dynamic cultures, short messages suffice. Elsewhere, in-person meetings or formal exchanges are preferred. Respect local rituals and symbols, and participate authentically if possible. This demonstrates respect and builds trust. Be flexible regarding time. Lateness may be tolerated in some contexts, but seen as disrespectful in others. Develop cultural sensitivity through continuous learning and feedback from local partners. Chapter 13: Social Innovation: Creating Positive Change in Society. Social innovation involves leveraging social intelligence skills to design initiatives that tangibly improve people's lives, whether through a small community project or an institutional program. Start by identifying a concrete problem and testing a small-scale, measurable solution. Collaborate with local partners to gradually amplify impact. Use community listening to understand needs precisely. Prioritize local participation in designing solutions. Leverage strategic networks to mobilize resources and institutional support. Document and share results transparently to build trust and attract future funding. Chapter 14: Paths for Developing Social Intelligence. Social intelligence is not static, but a continuous learning process. Create an annual plan including targeted readings, weekly exercises, observing nonverbal cues, active listening, introspective dialogues, and monthly practice, negotiation, presenting ideas to small groups. Keep a journal to track progress and seek feedback from trusted individuals. Attend interactive workshops and training sessions. Social learning is faster through collective practice. Incorporate mindfulness techniques to enhance attention and empathy. Regularly evaluate progress with simple indicators: quality of relationships, meeting effectiveness, collaboration success. Chapter 15: Measuring Impact and Building Success Indicators. Measuring impact in social intelligence is essential to convert efforts into tangible results. Begin by defining what success means in your context: more team trust, fewer conflicts, faster decision-making. Determine key performance indicators combining quantitative measures, e.g., number of meetings leading to decisions, and qualitative measures, e.g., intelligence from government, sense of security and support collected via surveys or interviews. Design projects from the outset with built-in measurement points to track progress. Collect and analyze simple but reliable data, involving stakeholders to enhance transparency and reduce resistance. Analyze results through clear reports. Avoid blaming individuals. Evaluate the system and, in case of disappointing results, adjust methods, training, or role allocation. Chapter 16: Integrating Social Intelligence into Daily Life, a 12-month roadmap. Achieving a high level of social intelligence is a process that requires time, practice, and consistency. Month 1: Personal diagnosis and feedback from trusted individuals. Months 2 to 3: Strengthen observation and active listening. Month 4: Work on first impressions and personal presentation. Month 5: Develop your network and initiate new relationships. Month 6: Practice influence without coercion. Month 7: Develop emotional intelligence and stress management. Month 8: Practice leadership in meetings and decision-making. Month 9: Strengthen team culture and cohesion. Month 10: Test a social innovation initiative. Month 11: Measure impacts and share results. Month 12: Conduct a comprehensive review and consolidate 3 key habits to maintain. A daily ritual, 10 minutes of reflection, a brief journal, a weekly practice session. Turns learning into a lasting habit. Conclusion: Social intelligence is a skill accessible to anyone willing to develop it consciously and through practice. Start today with a small step repeated every day, and you will soon discover that your relational universe expands, your interactions gain depth, and your successes become tangible.